Hey, I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
And we're the Rambling Reviewers.
And today we're looking at the anime/manga series, though I've only seen the anime, Attack on Titan. And for here's your non-spoiler review right here.
Oh god, we're all going to die. That's basically the plot.
But there's three words here. It's bleakness, badassery, and mystery. And if that sounds cool to you, go watch Attack on Titan.
And a little bit of inefficiency thrown in there as well.
Well, that's not like the core of the show. Like, let's be inefficient and it'll be entertaining for the audience.
I'm sorry, but when I tend to think force dedicated to the destruction of humanity's enemies, I do not think parkour enthusiasts.
Parkour is so cool, though.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
but see,
totally
there's a reason why parkour has not replaced the gun as our primary method of killing people.
Yeah, though this is a tricky case where the enemy can only be killed from a shot from behind the neck, and you have to get behind him, and you...
So make a better gun so you can shoot the
through
neck.
the front of the neck, yeah.
Or better yet, you know, I'm sort of doubting the Titans can survive total disintegration. All you need is a nuclear bomb and the Titans are gone.
I'm sure they could invent that with their medieval style technology.
Yeah, but that's even weirder because they have the gas-powered grappling guns that allow them to whip around. We don't have that today.
Nope. Yeah, schizotech.
But everything else is like they use shot and powder for their guns.
Pretty much, yeah. They don't have electricity or anything like that.
Why don't they have more guns? I mean, I know I'm going on about the guns, but you see that they use cannons to take out Titans from afar. Well, why not have lots of those and have the parkour guys as backup?
So
instead of having that as your main strategy.
Yeah, I know. All right, so for those of you that are for some reason watching this review without having previously encountered the Attack on Titan idea, it's about this world that's got sort of medieval style technology going on. And 100 years ago, these huge humanoid beasts called Titans showed up and just started eating people, as far as we know, for no reason.
By the way, Attack on Titan, not to be confused with Remember the Titans, which is a pretty good movie nonetheless, but it does not involve giant monsters eating people, but is instead a heartwarming sports movie combined with a bit of breaking racial barriers.
Yes, entirely different.
Yes, so don't get the two confused.
Remember the Attack on Titan, everybody. No.
It's about the Colossal Titan trying to join a football team.
So most of humanity was wiped out, and then the rest of them apparently went ahead and built this huge circular wall, and another wall inside that one, and a third wall inside that one. So there's like a whole...
They nailed the walls to themselves, and when it arrived, they smashed it with a hammer.
Oh,
I love The Emperor's New Groove. That is such a great movie.
Yeah. So basically, we have this fortress system to keep the Titans out, and they've been keeping out for 100 years. And then one day, a Titan that's much bigger than usual shows up. He's called the Colossal Titan.
And I'm not kidding when I say this. He kicks the door in.
Yeah, kicks the gate. And basically, we lost our outer wall, and Titans start eating everybody, and it becomes very important for us to find a way to actually defeat these things. And there's a lot of fighting going on. And our main character is Eren Jaeger. Jaeger being a German word for hunter. I learned that from Pacific Rim.
Yep. Eren Jaeger is an interesting character. Imagine Shinji Ikari if he had balls.
Kinda.
And
yeah. Where Shinji would freak out and then go to battle, Eren gets like bloodthirsty and goes to battle like, I will kill the Titans. But at the same time, he's not so extreme as to be unrelatable. You know, you can understand. Yeah, it is a very bleak world.
I mean,
his mother dies early on, and he has this great. She's frigging eaten
in front of his eyes.
Bleakness, people, bleakness.
And even before that, we see that his best friend Mikasa, who, by the way, is one of the two most competent human beings in the entire world.
Is so awesome, and I love that the girl gets to be the awesome one. Like, usually it's like the guy's awesome and the girl is like, almost as good. Now, this Mikasa in the first half of the season, because only the first season one has come out so far. It's like she has
more on-screen Titan kills in the first battle than the rest of humanity combined.
We were counting. She got up to like 7 before anyone else had breached, 2 or something, and it was just ridiculous. She's incredibly good at it.
It's like, what the hell?
It's just fun.
But anyways, it turns out that her parents were killed because they wanted, like, apparently her mom was the last Asian person.
Oh, yeah, there were these sex slave trader guys.
Yeah, and they killed her parents. So Aaron killed them when he was 5, so it's clear that he's never really been okay.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But, so...
The bleak world, the first word I mentioned, bleakness.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay, so it starts out with everyone running like fucking hell from the Titans who have breached the outer walls. The main 3 characters are Eren Yeager, Mikasa Ackerman, and bitch-ass McWhiny Pants.
I was an Armin?
Yes, Armin.
Yeah, okay.
Like I said, bitch-ass McWhiny Pants.
I like him.
I don't know. Okay, granted, it's a failing of the anime that they spend a lot of time going over every character over and over again. I must destroy the Titans. Seriously, it's like Sailor Moon, the transformation sequences. They have to do it once per episode, just mentioning how much he hates the Titans.
Yeah, but
seriously, it's like someone trying to deny. It's like the trope. But have I mentioned that I'm heterosexual today? Just
have I mentioned quite the same, but okay.
But it's like he spends so much time trying to prove how much he hates the Titans.
That made sense to me, though.
Yeah,
he wouldn't like. Yeah, I know. His whole life driving force. Like, I get. Freaking Batman talks about the need to rid Gotham of crime a lot.
Yeah, but he doesn't go on about how his parents are dead, despite what some people might joke about.
I get that. It was fun by me.
Armin, however, has much less of an... Okay, granted, he's an orphan, but again, so is a lot of people in this universe. Yeah. But he just never shuts up about how weak he is. I'm weak and I can't help my friends. You know, I go to see a physical trainer at the gym on Mondays, and he's a big fan of Attack on Titan, and he agrees with this. You know, okay, he doesn't feel like he's good at this. Fine, put him in the back where he can plan out these cool strategies. He's good at that.
Yeah, he does do some of that, actually. He figured out who the female Titan was, the one with the later mysteries and stuff. Anyway. Yeah,
but they keep putting him in the front lines, and then he keeps bitching about how weak he is compared to his friends. Which, granted, they're Eren... Sorry, something in my throat. It's Eren Yeager who has the murder boner for the Titans.
Oh, dear.
And Mikasa, a.k.a. the single most effective soldier humanity has.
Yeah, except later we meet the elite squad who can actually kill Titans. You're like, okay, finally there's somebody out here who can do this besides Mikasa.
Yeah, seriously, though. But anyway, so they go through boot camp. And yes, it's pretty much boot camp.
Yeah.
Where we meet Potato Girl.
Potato Girl, that was so fun. They're doing the standard drill sergeant nasty, right? And he's like, telling people, whatever, you're a maggot and you work harder and the Titans are going to eat your face off. And he's doing this like every person down the line, practically.
Well, they eat the rest of you, too.
Well, you know what I mean. And then he gets to this one girl who is eating a potato. And he just stares at her like he's broke. Like, what? It's so ridiculous that he
just goes, what are you doing? Well, I was making a potato, then I realized it was going to be late, so I didn't want to be hungry, so I just...
brought the potato, and he just stares at her.
Where did you get the potato? Oh, I took it from the cupboard. You stole it. Yeah. and he's just like...
Can't even be mad almost. He's like, how do you even... What?
How do you function, woman? And I just fell in love with Potato Girl right there, because she's just amazing.
It is great to have these moments of comedy in an otherwise bleak story. And give it some livelihood.
The next time we see her, he tells her, run around the compound until sunset or you die.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, I said that wrong. Until sunset... or you drop dead from exhaustion.
Yeah.
Either or.
I would just mention briefly in Baccano, which is unrelated to anime except for this one point, which is it's largely a dark story, and then there are these two characters, Isaac and Miriam, who are just like incredibly funny, and they're like almost from a different story, but it works. Now, Potato Girl isn't nearly so much of a comedy point in general. But still, that's similar role. You need to have your comedic relief in these bleak stories.
The manga is supposed to have expanded more upon the training and establishes connections between the various characters, so they're less of one-shot background characters like they were in the anime. I have to say one thing about the anime. Yes, they made it look awesome, but on the downside, they tended to compress a lot of stuff.
Which is funny because it also felt dragged out at the same time.
Yeah.
A little bit. Especially when every episode begins with like another 2 minutes of let's describe the basis of the story. The Titans appeared 100 years ago. And I'm like, I've seen this guys already. Why don't you could devote that 2 minutes to something else. It's okay.
Or you could do it really quickly like they did in The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Okay. Fire, Earth, Water, Air.
Wait, no.
Only the Avatar, blah, blah, blah. Fire Nation attacked. Now Aang's the new Avatar. He can save the world. There. Boom. 10 seconds tops. You have recapped the story.
Like so
okay, and yeah, they'd have previously on Avatar stuff, but still.
Long ago, Earth lived in harmony. Then, everything changed. The Titans attacked. 100 years have passed since they built the wall, and now the Titans are attacked again, and we are fighting back. The end.
Or Gurren Lagann had a pretty good one. This is the story of a man who has yet to realize his destiny. And it's talking about Simon, and he has suffered much, and shows clips from the past episodes. But he will face his true triumph soon. Boom! You've done that. You did it. You explained the plot. You're good.
But also with the Bleakness was this thing. You would get into like where the Attack on Trost, I think that segment was called, and we'd like Attack on Trost Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. It was like 7 parts. Like this battle is taking forever, which I kind of get because it is every battle is like a freaking huge deal. But maybe they could have rebalanced that a little. I don't know. It's not a big criticism to me. It was still cool.
Well, one way it really suffers is that Annie was pretty much left out. When in the manga,
but
she trained him how to fight.
Yeah.
In the anime, it was just one scene where she kind of kicks his ass.
Yeah.
Which is a recurring theme for Eren. Yeah, he's the anime hero, but he kind of loses a lot.
Except when Mikasa shows up.
Yeah, but that's because Mikasa is winning for him.
Yep, I know. At least the Annie's thing was she felt unique enough and memorable enough to me that when she showed up again, I immediately knew who she was. Yeah. And when they did the thing of, he recognized her fighting stance, I was like, I remember that
We'll
scene.
get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so training's over, and they're all assigned to the wall duties to watch out for monsters.
And around this part, you're thinking, it's been a while since we fought a Titan, and then there's like 7 episodes in a row of Titan fights. And you're like, okay.
Okay, but Potato Girl shows off her chops again as the comic relief of this series. She goes up on the wall, and she's like, isn't it beautiful? Perfect that I stole this meat from the storeroom. But they're all like, what the hell? Why did you do that? Yeah. Why did you steal the meat? That's for everybody. I'm like, yeah, but it's meat. And then everyone slowly goes, it is meat. They're like, oh yeah, okay, I can totally understand why you did that. And she goes, okay, I'll just put it in this locker right here so that we don't forget it later. And then it's totally silent for like 10 seconds. And then the Colossal Titan shows up. Meat. I want turkey sandwich.
I'll say also, one of the things that makes this show so great is how layered it is. Because it's not just, there's a lot of monsters and we have to fight them. There's internal politics. There's pointing out that a lot of the best fighters are sent to the innermost area, which is the most protected, but like they're going to be kind of worthless there when there's no Titans to fight, Yeah. But you can see how that would work out that way. People don't want to go to the front lines, so your reward is to go away from the front, which is inefficient, but what are you going to do?
But it encourages everyone to fight as hard as they friggin' can and train as hard as they can.
It does. But you see, I'm saying that these little contradictions that show up. There's official corruption. There's the military police.
It's the Peter principle, the most efficient. You're promoted until you reach your level of incompetence. So if you're awesome at the bottom, they slowly promote you until you're in an area where
I don't think we actually saw Peter principle in effect in this show.
Okay, well, I'm saying it's similar.
Because there's corruption? I mean...
No. You're moved from areas where you're exceedingly good at into areas where you're...
Who moved into an area he was bad at? That's the thing. Like, the king was king to begin with, I presume.
Okay. I might have been explaining this wrong. I just mean they're moved out of areas where they do the most good.
Where they would do the most good. That is a different
My apologies.
That's true. They're moved into the area which is safest for them, but not necessarily best for the world. Though, thankfully, the elite group is perfectly fine volunteering to kill the Titans all day long.
They're kind of insane, though, so give and take.
Oh, speaking of insane, another...
But, okay, we still have to...
yeah.
Okay, so the attack on Tross happens. The Colossal Titan decides, hi, guys, what's up?
He shows up. Everything is very mysterious.
I want your meat. Wow, okay, that was rough. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
I didn't even think of anything till you mentioned
I survived middle school. Do not judge me.
Man, you went to a sucky middle school.
Yeah, it did. There wasn't any AC. But anyways, so so all the teams ready, and they have their omnidirectional mobility gear, which
is freaking cool. We should talk about that a little bit, by the way.
We should.
It shoots. It's like it's ejected on your hip, basically, but there's like these kind of wires that go up all around your limbs to like distribute the force.
Yeah, so it doesn't rip your crotch off.
Yeah, that would suck.
Oh God, my groin!
It shoots off grappling hooks in every direction, and
okay, well, not every direction. Where they aim it.
Well, yes, in whatever direction you should happen to desire.
Okay, because I'm just thinking, firing in every direction.
Yeah, no.
Oh God, my eye!
So basically, it allows like Spider-Man, but more. Just constantly moving around and flipping and just it's so cool to look at, and it feels so strategic. There's so many times when someone wants to do something cool in a show, and they're like, "Oh, I'll just make the gun, but bigger." And look, it's bigger. And like, no, but this is interesting. This is how you're moving and how the Titan does he turn his head at the last minute, and
they have these
other things you can grapple onto nearby. If they fight the Titan on level ground, it becomes like a different strategy, because they have nothing tall to grab onto. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I love that.
Yeah, and they have these holsters. I mean, and the controls for the omnidirectional mobility, the 3D gear.
Yeah.
The swords they use are connected directly to the gear, and you manipulate them to work it. Mm-hmm. But see, the other thing is that the blades, here's the thing. If you keep hitting a monster that's the size of a friggin' 7-Eleven, has very tough skin, and has boiling hot internal liquids, eventually the sword's gonna break. Mm-hmm. Or it's gonna get dull. Mm-hmm. So they have these holsters filled with sword blades, and they
backup swords,
They plug the controls in, and they have new sword blades.
Like, they're prepared for this. Like, okay.
Okay, so Aaron and his squad are ready, and they're going to go, yeah, we're going to go out and we're going to fight the Titans. They don't last 5 minutes, and they lose like 90% of their guys.
And Aaron gets eaten. We sit there.
Okay, he's giving this speech, and it's a good speech about, finally, I'm going to get my revenge on the Titans. It's exactly the sort of speech you expect from this sort of hero.
Yeah,
Finally, we're ready. And then, like, this Titan just reaches up from beneath him from out of fucking nowhere.
I know, you don't see it coming.
Bitch slaps him, and it tears his leg off. And then he slams into a roof, and it's just like, what just happened? Where did the hero go?
Bleakness.
And then, like, these other guys go, wait, we'll save you. So they fire the mobility gear. This Titan reaches out, grabs the wires that they're using, and rips it out. The girl slams into a wall, and then she gets eaten by the Titan.
Yeah.
And they're just savaged by it, except for bitch-ass McWhiny Pants.
Armin.
Sheesh. And he totally freezes up when a Titan that looks like Santa Claus reaches down and grabs him and tries to stick him in his mouth.
Yeah.
So Aaron jumps into the Titan's mouth and throws him out. Says, run, Armin! Yeah. Or, I can't remember if he said to run or avenge me or get me the fuck out of this Titan's mouth. Because I know which one I'd be screaming. Help me, you asshole! And the Titan Santa bites down.
Yeah.
And it severs his arm.
Yeah.
Okay,
and swallows him after the fact.
Okay, so episode 5 of the main character is dead.
It wasn't 5, but yeah, it was, So this was weird, though, because
this is a different show.
I saw him get eaten, and it was hard for me to accept it. It was so obvious he was the main character, I thought, he can't be dead. And I know that he lost a leg, and he lost an arm, and then he got swallowed by the god-killing abomination, so to speak. But surely he's going to come back, right? And spent the next, 3 episodes, but he can't really be dead. Guess what? He's not really dead.
We spent the next like you said, spent the next several episodes acting like he was dead. Yeah. And that's a pretty big surprise. Usually with this sort of show, they go, oh, but it turns out that he had an escape pod or something.
Yeah, like the very next episode, yeah.
Yeah, but no, they just acted like he's dead. And then Mikasa goes bonkers, and here is where she scored like 5 Titan kills in a row.
It is so cool.
It was amazing.
And then a new Titan shows up that's on our side, and I went, wait, is that Eren? Because I knew he couldn't be dead, and it turns out it was. He can transform into a Titan, it turns out. Because
his father was an insane mad scientist. And
he gave him some sort of injection. We don't know the details yet. You may know more than me because you've read the manga. The manga goes further than the anime.
No, it doesn't help at all. In fact, it makes it more confusing because there's more shifters.
Okay, well, that's just confusing.
Well, you know, from they told you outright, like, what Annie turned into, that there's more shifters.
Yeah, I know, I'm saying.
But yeah, there's more beyond that, but I won't tell you who they are.
Okay.
But anyways, and you get a real sense of how bleak this world is, because the only building that's really able to fend off the Titans is this military castle base thing in the middle of Trost. Mm-hmm. And so all the surviving squad members run over to the base, and they're like, okay, let's hide in here for a while so we can get more supplies and stuff. And this one guy, it was his first battle. He's guarding the supplies, and he's with this little girl. He's with this girl, and she's like, he's preparing this gun and getting it ready. And we think, oh, he's gonna shoot the Titans, like someone sane would do.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's not gonna work. And he's just smiling and happy, and he's like, no, it'll work. And so then he flips it around and blows his own head off.
Oh,
it's like, God. What the fuck?
Bleak all the time. But
my God!
It makes sense.
Okay, and so they have to do this plan because the Titans have infiltrated the lower levels of the basement.
Yeah.
And so they lower this crane, which has all these guys.
Like an elevator kind of.
And they have guns, and they fire the guns.
People at the same time as the. Oh my
gosh. But the guns aren't meant to hurt the Titan. Okay, well, I suppose they could hurt the Titan.
Permanently hurt the Titans.
But the flashes from the guns are supposed to make the. Blind them so that all of the awesome characters can run up and stab in the back of the neck, which is the only way to kill a Titan.
Yeah. So basically, this happens all the time. People are just doing badass plans and badass things and badassery.
And then finally they realize, the battle's over, and they find out, wait, the Titan that was on our side, it's Eren!
Yeah.
And so they do the natural, logical thing.
Threaten to kill him
and his friends.
Which, again, makes sense, actually. In this crazy world, they'd be freaked out. I get it. Like, his immediate friends aren't freaked out, but the other people are.
Actually, he's pretty freaked out.
Well, so, okay, but...
What the hell? I'm stuck in the back of a Titan's neck? What the shit is going on?
Mystery. That was my third element there. So again, with the internal politics sort of thing, and human beings can be cruel to each other, or they can be confused, and all these... details that make it feel real as opposed to just, and we're fighting another monster today, which is what Bleach felt like to me after the first season. It was just like, look, more monsters, fight. And I was like, nah. Attack on Titan, on the other hand, a whole nother ballgame.
Okay, so then they have this plan. Okay, the wall wasn't penetrated, but Trost District, I'd have to have this. Go look it up. It's amazing. But Trost is actually like this bulge on the side of the wall so that the Titans will all focus all their energy on attacking Trost instead of focusing on the rest of the walls. So
yes, all right.
So the plan is that Eren will go in as a giant Titan, which... Again, this is an incredibly silly plan. Like, now we don't know how you did it or how you can control it, but we need you to execute this extremely complex plan. And for shits and giggles, let's have you juggle while you're doing it.
It's a desperate situation.
Okay, I know, but still, maybe you want to try something else before relying on an element. Maybe you want to test this out before this plan. Have him go, okay, see that field over there? Let's have you go over there and then try practicing transformation a few times. Just make sure that you can do it. And that you won't go fucking berserk like you do.
I liked when they announced the plan and a number of people threatened to desert. And then the guy manages to persuade them to stay off.
Oh, he persuades them to stay by saying, okay, fine. If you like seeing your friends and family get nommed by the Titans.
Yep.
Because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. It was epic. I liked it.
And eventually, the plan works. Eren plugs up the hole in the wall.
Yep.
And so they announce the plan. We're going to where we started. Shini Sigu Wada Zada.
I forget.
Abandoned hometown. Destroyed hometownville.
Yeah.
Because Eren's dad has something in his basement.
Yeah.
Now, if my experience with basements has been any indication, Asbestos and porn.
Oh! God, that would suck.
Yeah. God damn it!
I just hope...
Oh my god, who would make Titan porn? How would you make Titan porn?
Moving on.
But anyway, so yeah, they're told, okay, you have to go to this basement. So they're sending out this attack force. It's got like 100 guys in it. Mm-hmm. They just get decimated, man.
Yeah. Well, actually, that attack force wasn't even meant to go to the basement that day. It was just a training mission, essentially. We go out and turn around.
I think it was like to check to see if there are any other Titan shifters or whatever.
It was also a secret plan to catch Annie.
Yeah.
Recall.
Although I don't really know how they knew that, because this was like the first time a female Titan appeared.
Well, they knew someone had killed off the test subjects earlier.
Oh, okay. So they were looking for a Titan sympathizer.
Yeah.
Who might be a shifter.
And then it turns out to be, even worse than they thought.
Yeah, so they...
And then they shoot it with all those cords. How about another round of cords?
Okay, you know the scene where in Evangelion where they capture the Eva because it's going berserk and they fire the cables on it? It's exactly that, except with steampunk and Titans instead of
and
Eva.
like 100 cables.
Yeah, and it's amazing. They use more Daka in this one scene. It's like,
and it still doesn't work.
Why don't you do this with the other Titans with bullets? Mm-hmm. And they have her like tied up, so they have like cables stuck through her eyeballs in Titan form, of course.
Did they?
Yeah, it was kind of gruesome, but.
Anyway, but again, with more badassery and mystery going on because they're trying to figure out who's inside, and she's got this secret plan of her own. Everyone's got like multiple plans going at once. It's interesting.
And so the first season ends with the ambush in the innermost circle of the walls, where
that was
Armin figures out that Annie is the Titan shifter because
it's complicated. Just move on.
Okay, yeah. But anyway, so they figure, okay, we'll bring you into this innermost wall because this is the only place where you're going to be. Because if she does this Titan scream, all the Titans will come follow her. So we need to get farthest away from all the world's Titans as possible, which means the inner wall. Which is also where she works, too.
Yeah.
So, and they know that you have to shed your own blood or injure yourself.
In order to transform. Yeah.
So they get all these guys, so they plan to... lure her underground, and then have all these guys pin her down so she can't injure herself. Mm-hmm. Which brings to mind why they didn't bring a gag so she couldn't bite her own tongue.
I think somebody did get their hand in her mouth, if I recall, but yeah.
But anyway, so she does because she has a ring with a spike on it or something. Yeah, so
she had planned to do that in advance. They maybe just should have shot her, but I guess they wanted to take her alive, and then that didn't work out so well.
Yeah, so then
more fighting.
Aaron and Annie start fighting, and
they fight.
But so and then eventually Annie decides to try to escape, but that doesn't work because Aaron's Titan mode goes Super Saiyan and it catches fire or something.
Yeah.
And then he starts beating on her like she owes him money.
And then she transforms into like a freaking crystal thing so she can't be interrogated.
The Legend of Zelda strategy.
Yes, yeah.
Classic. Okay, so and then eventually everyone goes, okay, okay, most of the city is on fire right now. Whose bright idea was this?
Their victories.
They had a military tribunal over this victory. Because the victory wasn't really a victory. They didn't capture. Okay, they captured her.
They did capture her. That was the one part of the victory.
But she can't reveal any information. Yep. She's stuck inside of a freaking crystal, so we can't dissect her to figure out how she does what she does.
Yeah.
We can't torture her for information. Not that. I mean, come on. They would in this universe.
They would, of course. Yeah.
And it's like a shitload of stuff just got blown to fucking hell.
Yeah, but it's a victory, so to speak.
Yeah, we got rid of one person who would have destroyed a whole bunch of stuff, and all it cost was the destruction of a whole bunch of stuff. Thank God we stopped her in time.
Yeah, it all works out somehow.
And then you have to stay after the credits because, spoiler, they do some damage to the wall, or one of the walls, and it turns out that the walls are filled with colossal titans.
Yeah, though, I mean, all you see is actually just one eyeball. I didn't know all the walls everywhere were going to be full of Titans, because you mentioned that because you've read the manga. So that's even more mysterious, and I can only hope that whoever's writing this thing has got very good answers to the mysteries that will show up eventually. Because otherwise it will suck in the end to be like, what? You never figured it out.
The only explanation for how the Titans got in there, because it says that they're part of the foundation of the wall. Uh-huh. In the manga, they say that. And that the cult of the wall is like one of the most powerful political entities in human civilization, and how they're keeping the secret of the wall secret. The only explanation I can give is that the descendants of the original people who settled inside the walls, the people who built the walls, all Canadian. Hey there, guy. Hey there, buddy. Could you just not look at the giant wall that's the height of a Saturn V rocket, and we're filling with humanoid abominations? Okay, there. Okie dokie then.
No offense to Canadian people.
They know what they did. The offense. But anyway, yeah, that's the only possible explanation I can give, other than going into magic. But
maybe there's a way to like stun Titans, and they managed to stun them all in a circular configuration. And I don't know.
Well, that would explain how they got the Titan. No, I'm not going there.
Okay.
It was a joke. It wasn't serious. It wasn't. Okay. I wasn't going to reveal anything.
Oh, okay.
It would just have led down really dark paths.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, okay, so.
Oh, we gotta mention though. What's her name? The scientist.
Oh, jeez, I can't remember the scientist's name.
She's amazing. She's like the next bit of she's our next comedic relief person beyond Potato Girl. Because she's like studying the Titans and she's really excited to talk about them and dissect them.
Remember Newt from Pacific Rim? This is what it would be like if he had a female clone
who's scarier.
Yeah. Oh, and
scary.
The first time we're introduced, I have to look up her name. Okay, but of course the computer shuts down after 5 minutes. But anyways, so
the first time we were introduced, Aaron was in jail.
Oh, and it's the best scene.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you hear this footsteps, because it's a stone jail. It's exactly like any other dungeon you see in any medieval fantasy.
Yeah.
And then it's focused on the bars. Then all of a sudden, boom! She's right there, and she's clinging to the bars.
She's got this
and
she's got this smile.
No, she doesn't even have to smile. She's like totally serious, but her eyes are like big and bug-eyed, and she's like, "Can you transform into a Titan?" and
it's so funny.
You could see the what the fuck in Aaron's eyes. Keep in mind, he lives in a world where the Titans burst through his wall, ate his mom. He murdered 2 people before he was 5. He can turn into a giant humanoid abomination of God.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that really startles him. It's like,
and she's like, she had these Titan test subjects that she was like torturing just to see, if they withstood pain or whatever. And she's like crying as they're crying. And there's this one sane man guy who's like supervising the test. Like, it's not necessary for you to cry too, but they're in pain, as she stabs them.
She's stabbing them in the eyes, and she's going
crazy in this very fun way.
She names them.
She names them Sunny and Bean.
Sunny and Bean. And she's like, "No, I'm sorry, babies. I don't want to hurt you." And then the Titans are like locked up and they're restrained, so they can't do anything at all. And they're still trying to eat her, and she's like, "Oh my, that was so close. Oh, better luck next time, buddies." and they're just like,
such a
everyone's
character.
Like, "What is wrong with you?"
They have these fun characters all over the place.
Oh my god. Okay. Darn it.
I know. There's no way you can search Wikipedia for that one person who was... Anyway.
No. Okay. Hanji.
Zoe. Hanji. Or Hanji Zoe. Okay. Now that I can read it.
Zoe, but they call her Hanji, or Hanji. Yeah, Hanji. They call her Hanji, and she's easily my favorite character in the whole show, because she's just
fun.
She's just bonkers.
she's got like a strain of Joker in there, you know, like non-evil, but like just wild.
Imagine if Joker worked for XCOM and you would have something not unlike this.
Yeah. So memorable characters is important to have. Oh, everyone's memorable in their own way, and they all their complications.
And we haven't even mentioned like all these other characters that show up.
We don't have time for.
Like Levi, who is the only other competent person aside from Mikasa.
He's the only person. He did a freaking Sonic the Hedgehog move that one time. It was like the blade is moving so fast you couldn't see it.
Yeah, seriously.
And yeah, I would compare this favorably to, say, Claymore, which I liked. But Claymore is another show that has, you know, people with badass sword skills and they're killing monsters and stuff. But there was less personality there than there is in Attack on Titan, I'd have to say. As well as less mystery and just everything is kind of less over there.
It felt kind of like a fusion between a typical anime, but at the same time trying to capture the feel of Neon Genesis Evangelion, where you know the good guys have to win in the end because...
They'd better, or we'll all just be depressed.
We'll be pissed.
And pissed.
Okay, but yeah, it feels like they're trying to capture that, but at the same time trying to capture the realism and deconstruction of Evangelion. Like, just because you train for 5 years does not mean that you're going to be able to fight these things.
Yeah, no.
They try to brutally deconstruct the idea of a last stand.
Yeah.
Like... by having people realize, oh wait, I don't want to die and get eaten by the Titans. And they usually realize this as the Titan is bringing them up to their mouths.
Yeah, or how about when there's a couple of corpses left behind in the forest, and this one guy's like, no, my buddy's corpse is there, I'm going to go back and get it. So he goes back to get it, but in doing so, a Titan sees him and chases him down, and not only does the corpse get lost, but he himself gets eaten along with his other friend that was helping him out.
No. One of the friends survives.
Oh, one of them survives. That's right.
One of them survives. But worse, because the Titan is chasing them, they have to distract it.
Yeah.
So what they do is they dump the corpses they were grabbing.
They had previously collected, yeah.
Previously collected, so the Titans will go after those corpses.
So it's like you try to do the noble thing and end up being worse.
Yeah.
You know? Which unfortunately, the world can work like that sometimes. In fiction land, it's almost always, I took the great risk and then saved everyone, and I took the great risk and oh crap, I died, never mind. It wasn't worth it at all.
I like it when they subvert that. Like in Mass Effect 3, they started doing that. Like there was this character, Ranathanoptis. She was an Asari scientist who worked for Saren in the first game and then worked for another guy in the second game. Mm-hmm. Both of them were evil, but you know, you're being a good person. Mm-hmm. You let them both live. Mm-hmm. I mean, you let her live both times. Well, it turns out if you actually killed her, like you really should have, turns out that she was indoctrinated by the Reapers. She was their slave this whole time, and she starts murdering prominent military officials until she's taken down.
Yeah, so basically what seems like the best, even the moral course of action, may not be the best course of action.
It's like when Picard decided not to send the Borg-killing virus along with Hugh when he sent Hugh back to the Collective.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do, but even he says, okay, it was the moral thing to do, but it probably wasn't the right thing to do.
Gets into complex questions of morality that we probably don't have time for.
But needs the many and all that.
Yeah, basically, Attack on Titan, it's good stuff.
Watch it. Now that we've spoiled it for you.
And then figure out if they ever answer these mysteries in Season 2 and however long it goes. That is...
Oh, they unleash whole new mysteries. It just gets worse.
I just hope it all adds up. All right, well, I guess that's basically it.
Yep. So, anyways, I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
We're signing off.